Alright, so today's the day. I'm going to be starting my pepper seeds here in Michigan for the growing season because they take about 8 to 12 weeks to start up before putting outdoors for our area. I usually put mine out around Mother's Day, my peppers and tomatoes and stuff like that. The cold crops I put out in April, but we can talk about that later. So I went with bigger cell trays this year. That way I don't have to up pot, because I hate up potting. It's just a lot of work. It's a waste of soil, and these bigger ones will help have a healthier, larger root system as well. And this year I'm using some little tags here. I just marked right there because that's where the line is for the soil. But you can write on this with pencil if you'd like. I think it's preferred. The pencil will not wash off from watering, but I bottom water anyway, and we can talk about that later. And I'm going to be using Pro Mix. This year I've never used Pro Mix. It's more expensive than your average seed starting mix, which is different than potting soil. Seed starting mix is more fine, and this is a seed starting mix. And it also has nutrients in it that I don't have to add. Your seedlings do not need nutrients for at least 4 weeks after they sprout. They really don't, so don't let anyone fool you. But my plan is to grow these, and I'll go through them with you. I'm going to do a Corbaci pepper. It's from Baker Creek. The habanada, which is a habanero that is not hot. Large red cherry. These are comparable in heat to jalapenos, I'd say. But I prefer these over jalapenos. They're really good. I'm going to be growing the shishito pepper. And shishitos are sweet, but 1 in 10 of them can be spicy. Not as spicy as a jalapeno. I'm going to be growing the Cayenne Long Slim this year. Last year I grew a couple different varieties of cayenne that I liked, but I don't remember the names of them. I didn't write it down. I actually bought starts instead of starting from seed. But I use these for making pepper flakes that I eat every day. And then I'm also growing Jimmy Nardello sweet peppers from M.I. Gardner, which I have not used. So if you've not bought seeds from M.I. Gardner, I highly suggest it. Number 1, Michigan company. Number 2, great family, great workers up there. All seeds are heirloom, open pollinated, non-GMO, and 99 cents. 99 cents a packet. The seed count will vary, but their germination rates are amazing. I mean, for instance, like right here, 15 seeds for that. This one has 50, so it depends on the variety, how much seeds come out of each pod, stuff like that. So I'm going to put my soil mix in here, and I'll talk a little bit more about what's going on. Oh, I wanted to also add that you do not have to use these tags. You can use popsicle sticks, or you can write out a grid on a piece of paper and put what you want in there as well. So don't feel like you have to buy these. There's always a cheaper option. There's always a method or a will where there's a way. And you don't have to go with these big either. You can do the 70, I think it's 72 cell. The smaller ones, you can go that way. It's just up to you, how you feel about up potting and transplanting, and all that stuff. So just wanted to add that in real quick. So I like to label my peppers, with the date that I planted the seed, and if it's a pepper, whether it's a sweet or hot one, just in case I happen to lose, the seed packet with all the information. Because I grow a lot of new varieties, and sometimes you never know. There's lookalikes, and they could be hot or sweet, and if you don't like hot peppers, it's good to know that they are actually hot instead of sweet. Alright, so best practice is to get your seed mat plugged in and start it up so it can warm up. And also best practice is to sanitize your trays and stuff, but I'm going to forego that. These are new, and I don't suggest you follow my lead here, but that's what I'm going to do. And you're also supposed to sanitize your soil mix just in case there are bugs or eggs in there. You really don't have to unless you're very worried about, you know, fungus gnats and fruit flies and stuff. So I will not be doing that, but I am going to moisten the soil with my handy dandy sprayer here as well as I put it in. And also, I like to have these all separate. Sorry, my little thing's dangling. But to fill these all up with them separate, there's too many holes, there's too many gaps, so you're going to be losing soil. So I suggest keep them together, fill them up, spray them down, get them moist, and then you can separate them to bottom water or whatever you need to do. So I'm going to fill them up. Alright, so I filled them up, and I gently packed down the top, and I topped more off. And then what I like to do is I like to plant 3 pepper seeds in each quadrant, because this year I'm doing an experiment where I'm trying to grow 2 pepper plants together and see what kind of yield that gives me. But the reason I plant 3 is just in case, the germination rate is not good on, one of these, then at least maybe 2 out of 3 will sprout. So, and I'm going to pick the 2 strongest ones. I'm going to plant them all together, like real close in the middle. I just like to use a pencil, make a little hole, lightly cover them, and then water them in. So, yeah. Just watering them in. I'm going to let it sit for a minute, let it soak in. I have a theory where you don't have to have the whole soil, from top to bottom moist, because only the top layer is where the seeds are going to be. So that's where the moisture needs to be. So don't worry if everything is not completely saturated, from top to bottom. Just make sure the top, maybe ½ an inch or more, is moist before you start planting. And if you don't like making a mess, put something down underneath you as well. So the rule kind of is to just plant your seeds, for peppers anyway, about half the depth of the length of the seeds. So they're not very long. I just scratch the surface. You can see it's a little scratch right there. Scratch the surface with a pencil or, right now, a screwdriver. I drop my seeds in, then I lightly cover them up. I'll show you real quick. Sorry about the lighting. Just cover them up with soil very gently. Lightly pack it down, and it's good to go. I'll water these all in one more time just to make sure the seeds are moist, and we have our peppers set and ready to go. Alright, everything's planted out. Everything's labeled. The light is at the perfect height, at least for me, because I'm getting full coverage here. And I can still put stuff in front if I want, so I'm going to put my pepper in a can challenge here. Put those boys in here. Yeah, very nice. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know how to get a hold of me. Alright, cheers.